Alright, so this tutorial is going to go over the creation of your own custom door. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, we have this project open, we're going to be creating a new family. So we'll go Revit, New, Family. So families operate within each one of these projects. So each one of those windows and doors are each their own family. If you insert furniture, those all operate as a custom setup here. And so you guys will see there's some presets in here so that we can start to generate stuff that in a sensibility that connects with what it is that we're trying to accomplish here. We're going to go ahead and we'll open up the door template. And there's a bunch of things that are already set up in here that we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and delete this away as we get in here. So because we'll start from scratch here, assume that we're going to start with an opening. But it's going to give you an exterior frame. It has a bunch of parameters that are already preset. Divides up the door. We have an exterior and an interior, which is obviously very important. You'll note that these guys are in here as well. So if we go into, if you accidentally delete these guys away, your controls are under the Create tab right here, and so you can drop those in, and it'll automatically do that for you. Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead into 3D views after I've deleted all that stuff away, and if I hold Shift and click, you can see that I've created an opening here. And so the first thing we need to do is we need to create a door frame, and we're going to create a door stop, all in one move here. So the first thing we need to do is we actually need to establish some reference planes in order for us to do this. Now, reference planes enable us to actually start to connect geometry in reference with parameters as we go through this. So RP is a reference plane, or you can see right in here, we can start to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and on the exterior here, I'm going to go ahead and delete some of these guys away. Obviously that corresponds to the door swing. We're going to go ahead and in another tutorial actually generate and insert hardware into this guy. And so what we'll do is, let's actually start off in plan. We'll zoom in here. We're going to go ahead and create what's called a sweep. So we're going to go ahead and create this sweep, and now we need to draw out the geometry here. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to pick the path that we want the sweep to go around, and we're going to want this to go all the way around the door. So if we pick the path here, and go ahead and select this in order. And so now the sweep is going to sweep along each one of those edges. Okay, so go ahead and hit OK. And then we're ready to draw the profile. So we'll go and do the profile here. And we're going to draw this in plan here. And it's important that you actually observe where that origin is. So we want to make sure that this is relatively close to this. You're not going to have very good quality models or sweeps if you get the farther away you get from this. So. And it's also, that's going to be the core origin. So if we were to draw our path over here, it's going to just create a big mess here. So we'll go ahead and start by drawing a line here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to rough this out. I'll use the center of our wall. And then we're going to add some parameters to this as we go through this. And you'll note that I'm not actually removing anything from the wall here. The opening that's been generated, we're just going to accept that, and we're adding on to geometry, not actually reducing that. Okay. So then what we can do is we can come in here, and if we press RP, reference plane, we can start to draw reference planes on this. And then from there, if we hit DI, we can dimension these guys to this other edge here. And I'm going to go ahead and change my view parameters so these guys appear much smaller. So go ahead, and then we can, up here at the top, we can, under the label, we can add a parameter, or we can use some of these existing guys. And if I zoom out, I'm going to go ahead and cancel. This is going to be on the exterior side, and this is the interior, so we can go ahead and I'll just go ahead and utilize some of these frame projections. Alright, so we'll go into, let's check this out here, under our 3D view, and you can see that now we've created a sweep that actually has our door jamb inserted into it. Okay, now we want to have some of these guys actually be editable, so we'll go in here and actually draw some reference planes to help us get into this. And I sort of fast forwarded out of there, so I'll go ahead and just RP, reference plane, Go ahead and just draw that across, draw that across. Okay, and then I'm going to dimension from there to there, from there to there. And I'm going to go ahead and set this as the exterior frame, and we'll go ahead, and now that's a parameter. We'll go ahead and set this guy and turn him to the interior parameter here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go select my sweep. We're going to edit the sweep, and we zoom over here. We can grab our profile path here. So we'll edit the profile. And I had previously drawn that guy in there, and that's not going to actually connect in the way that we want it. So align that, this to there, we'll lock that constraint, this to there, we'll lock that constraint. Right, and then we can come in here and we're going to go ahead and hit done. Done. So what that enables us to do is as we come in here, we can click on this guy and pull up the properties. We can start to adjust the frame dimensions on these guys. So we hit apply on this. Set that to 5 inches. You can see that the geometry of the sweep actually will move along with that parameter, and this is the really cool parametric component of Revit in here. Okay, and so we've gone ahead and created that sweep really, really quickly. All right, and the next thing we need to do is we need to create a door component here. And so we'll go ahead and we're ready to create a door. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my elevation, and I'm going to go ahead and create an extrusion. So I'll go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and reference that. Oh, I'm going to draw a rectangle here, so I'm going to draw a door. And go ahead and here. And so then it's going to automatically try and snap to some of these things, and we want to go ahead and lock those relationships because we want the door to essentially maintain its width in relation to all of that, the door jamb and door stop. So we'll go ahead and lock those connections. And then what we can do is, if you want, this is your opportunity if you want to draw openings, because you guys are each going to be designing your own door. You guys can come in here and we can start to sketch some of these things, these openings in here. So we'll go ahead and do this. And just like when we were doing things in floor plans and other things like that, we can come in here and do this. Okay, so once we have all of that sketched out, we can go ahead and hit OK. And you can see that now we have a nice solid guy in here that has these voids taken out of it. So we can go ahead and look at that in 3D. And right now it's really unconstrained, it's super thick. So now we're going to go back into plan, and we need to make sure that we are actually accommodating for the thickness of our door here. So we have the stop there, and we have our door here. I'm going to take this reference plane right here. Oh. Create a reference plane. Go ahead and draw that. And then we're going to dimension it. Use my button so that you guys know where I'm at. And then again, we can go ahead and we can either create, or we can just use some of the existing guys in here. For this, we'll go ahead and just use the existing. So that's thickness. And we're now defining that as a parameter here. We can take this guy, and now using our align tool, we can align this edge to that edge, lock that constraint, and then we can align this reference line to the extrusion, lock that as well. And then when we come in here and we edit the properties here for our thickness, now we can set this to say 2 inches. Watch this update when I hit apply here. Hit apply. Oh, sorry, 2 feet. That's going to be a thick door. We hit 2 inches. Hit apply. You can go ahead and see that that's been attached and constrained appropriately here. All right, and then so what we have now is we're essentially able to take this and we can load this into our project. So we'll click load, and I'm going to go ahead and load this into the file that I have saved as tester. This is going to be your project file. So we hit OK, and it's going to automatically pop up here, and we can go ahead and select that guy. All right, and so if we look at this in 3D, you can see our door is in here now. And the next step we're going to actually I'll show you guys how to put hardware and stuff on your door. But if we select this for right now, we can go ahead and if we go to edit type, And we can come in here and we can reprogram some of these parameters here. So like I say, we don't want that. Anything that was a parameter in the family is now an accessible parameter in the edit type. So we hit apply, and that will update. So now we have a reasonable sort of door stop and frame here on our guy. Alright, and so that's going to be the first step. The next step is we look at this in plan. This is not going to be modeled perfectly because we don't hit the door, that nice door swing in here. So what we'll do with that, we'll go ahead and edit that. And actually you can see that we're having a little bit of issues. Our door stop and frame are not completely attached. So in the next demonstration we'll go ahead and get that fixed, and then we'll also get the symbolic line for how we can draw this thing in plan and how the door swing works.